Welcome back. Well, the deadline is approaching. President Trump put an ultimatum out to Iran on Saturday night, warning Tehran must open up the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours, or the U.S. will obliterate the country's power plants. The post was put out Saturday night at 7:44 p.m. The deadline is tonight at 7:44 p.m. Iran is also ramping up its aggression. It launched 2 ballistic missiles on Friday toward a joint U.S.-UK military base on Diego Garcia Island. That island is 2,500 miles away from Iran, taking out of hiding its biggest weapon yet, indicating it has the potential to send a missile that would potentially hit much of Europe. Joining me now is Gatestone Institute Senior Fellow Gordon Chang. Gordon, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. What a surprise. Iran lied. China has been supporting Iran. But what is your take on this latest strike by Iran, and how is China playing a part in all of this?
Yeah, many observers were surprised that they could launch a missile at Diego Garcia.
Right.
But remember, the Iranians have missiles which are far more capable than the intelligence community assesses. They have the components for the Hwasong-15, a North Korean missile, which has a range of 12,000 kilometers, which, if fired from Iran, could actually hit the United States. The one thing we don't know, Maria, is if that they've been able to put everything together. But the point is the Iranians have a much larger, or at least a much more capable inventory of missiles than everybody has assessed them to have.
Yeah. Well, we did a deep dive on drone technology yesterday on Sunday Morning Futures, where I spoke with 2 executives from 2 different drone companies. I know these companies will be the recipients, some of the recipients, among the recipients of the defense supplemental package, because we need more drone protection and use of drones. President Trump is asking these drone companies to mass produce. And I want to get your take on this, because one of the executives told me that the weapons that Iran is using are largely Chinese weapons. Here is Adam Bry, the CEO of Skydio, followed by Wahid Nawabi, the CEO of A-REMNANT, drone manufacturers in America. Watch.
Tactics and the weapons that we're using right now in Iran are super effective. They're also just super expensive. And that's the problem. The problem is the asymmetry in cost and resources, because the Iranians are launching drones that cost thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, and we're launching missiles that cost millions of dollars. That our adversaries are going to be using Chinese drones. You know, historically, China has dominated the kind of small, light, cheap drone market. We've been competing against Chinese companies head to head in civilian markets now for a decade. And we're seeing a lot of success, especially as this transitions to more AI and autonomy based, which is really what we bet the company on when we started. So I think it's a really important moment for drones and U.S. drone dominance.
Just in the first few days of this conflict, Iran had launched over 2,000 kamikaze drones, the ones that, such as Shahid, is one of those such drones. And these are being targeted on U.S. bases, as well as some of our closest allies in the region. So this type of warfare has never...
This is the prophet of nations speaking. God's message to the prophet Jeremiah on Elam. At the outset of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah, this is what God of the army of the angel of God say. Watch this. I will break Elam bow, her weapon of choice, across my knees. Then I will let the four winds loose on Elam, winds from the four corners of the earth. I will blow them away in all direction, landing homeless Elamites in every country on earth. They will live in constant fear and terror among enemies who want to kill them. I will bring doom on them. Anger-fueled doom will set murderous hands on their heels until there's nothing left of them. And then I will set up my throne in Elam, having thrown out the king and his henchmen. But the time will come when I will make everything right for Elam again. This is the prophet of nations speaking, God's decree.